Well, good afternoon, my fellow underground builders, potentially. Okay, so I'm going to describe this video program in about 10 minutes of what, if you decide you're seriously interested in building an underground structure, we're going to put together a video series of a brief description of each step for your contractor to review, yourself to review. This is basically what I do when I do a one-on-one consultation. And because we have about 150 people that want to do a one-on-one consultation, I decided to change directions and do a one-on-one consultation in a form of a video so that and it really will reflect it pretty much the same as I would do with any one-on-one. So what we're going to do in this video series, if you decide to purchase it, it's going to cost $100 or something about like that. The one-on-one consultations are about $200, so this is going to give you the same information, but it's going to make it easier for me because I don't really like doing that part of it, like going and talking to the same people, different people about the exact same thing over and over again, because everybody has the same questions right off the get-go. So what this video is going to be about is right from start, we're going to go with just step by step, starting from the very first step of buying the property that you're going to build on or discussing the property you already have. That's going to be our first step. Okay, then we're going to get into basically where on your property you should build that structure. That's going to be in the series, basically step one. And then we're going to get into the next step, systematically, will be excavation. Excavating your site. According to, of course, you have decided now what size of structure you want and what the floor plan, basically the blueprint of the structure is going to do as far as excavation goes. We're going to follow the excavation with you. We're going to help you map it out. And then once the excavation's done, we're going to be also talking about your contractor and who you're going to have as your contractor in your area. And once this first video series is something that your contractor will be able to review, and if you find it, that you're really going to get into building one of these, then we'll go to stage two, and that will be possibly me coming to your site and looking at it, meeting your contractor, because I will be coordinating with him to make sure everything goes just the way it should and the right steps, doing everything the way I suggested, and also connecting you with engineered drawings and discussing with you permitting required. Some people don't want to do permitting. They want this to be completely, private. So that's entirely up to the person. And then we're going to get into the erection of the structure. We're going to get into the building of the tunnel. We're going to get into the penetrations with all the ventilation. That's going to be another process. We're going to talk about the foundation, the rebar that's required only for tying it in. We're going to have pictures of that and everything in this whole video series. We're going to and then what you'll be able to do is we'll have it categorized, and it will show you. You could scroll over to like section, such and such a timestamp on the video. We'll talk about this subject. So if you really want to know about the helix steel, for instance, what is the benefit of using helix steel and versus using rebar? Okay, so you really want to have that question. That's the one thing that's on your mind. Well, it'll have it listed in this video series, and you'll be able to go right to it, fast forward to the timestamp, I mean, Michael might segment each one out as well, and you can also have the whole video, or he'll have like 10 segments of it. Okay, so this is something that we're starting to work on. We've already done some of the videos, but I'm doing an introduction video to kind of explain what we're going to do and whether or not you want to purchase this video. So it's less money for you and it's less time for me to do it. It's going to take a lot of time for us to produce a production of video and we're going to constantly add to it. So if you buy this program, we're going to have other stuff added to the site quite often that you can refer to, and you can check back every once in a while and it'll say like new material, it'll say added stuff. You'll get a notification, probably if you're subscribed to us, you'll get a notification of some new information coming up. And and then we'll get into every question that you possibly could have on every subject, really. And then your contractor is going to know all the things I'm talking about generally, and then you're going to take it from there and add whatever you want and go to whatever level, from very super basic to adding all the bells and whistles on, including interior build outs, including ventilation adaptation, having better, more mechanical ventilation systems, depending on your desires. You know, we'll tailor it to, we'll answer the questions accordingly to whatever you decide. But then once you say, you know what, this sounds like a good idea, we just found another Quonset hut supplier who actually is about, looks to be about 35% less in cost. So the ones we are dealing with, who I originally was purchasing from, were a lot more money. And I was kind of surprised because they were way over double that they were in 2010. So I thought, yeah, okay, things have gone up in price, right? But I relatively, I thought it was, you know, they're taking advantage of that ability to put whatever price they want on it. So one of our people that wants us to work with them on a structure, he actually sent me a notice of a structure that he was looking at. And I was like, wow, so we looked into it and the prices are like 35% less. Anyway, I'm rattling on. Anyway, if you want to purchase this series, go ahead and look forward to working with you in the future. And if then after you watch the series, you pay that $100 or whatever it is, you do that, then you can say, you know what, this isn't for me, or this is for me, or maybe I don't have the right land, or when I get the land, we'll go to stage 2, and that would include a couple different programs. We'll have one where I'm involved to some degree, depending on your contractor, how comfortable they are doing this project, versus me actually being the guy that really is involved, and I'm actually coordinating all your subcontractors from afar. You know, like if you're like 10 states over, I can still do that. I can still coordinate that. But really, you're going to want to have a contractor in your area, because I'm not a huge company. You know, I'm not a company that's going to have a whole bunch of people coming and moving all around the country to do these things. We've been asked we really could do that, but it's not my interest. And I don't think it's very cost effective for the customer either to have such a thing, me traveling around and people traveling around. No, it's better off that you just have your, because these structures are very easy to build. This is not a big process to do these. Anybody that builds houses, this will be easier than building a house, okay? And even a really handy person could tackle this on their own with their own people and putting up. There's a lot of videos on erecting Quonset huts for one thing, and then we'll have videos on the Shotcrete and all the spray foam and all that. Okay, so until we meet again on the following series, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.